Mhm. 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 Let me see. Let me see. How else do you do this? Let me see. You got that. Okay, then. Well, we got all this stuff going on here, so let us take care of this right quick because my mind ain't what it used to be. Okay, then. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, it's Monday morning. It's time to rise and shine. People, it's time to get out of bed. Now, okay, let's get out of bed. Time to wake up. Let's go to work. Okay, let's do our thing. Okay, you're wasting daylight. It's time to go to work. Okay, it really is. I promise you it is. It is. Oh, you know, where's that coming from? Uh huh. Okay, so that's going to the wrong place. Oh, let me stop that right quick. Now I fixed that yesterday, but I don't know what's going on with it today. Okay, but we'll hold it. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Okay, I fixed that yesterday. So let me see. 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 Uh huh. Yeah, there we go. All righty then. Audio. Okay, there we go. Oh. I don't know where that came from right there. That is not so. That is not so. That is not so. That is not so. Okay. So let me see. Da 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 da. That's not so. Good morning, everybody. I'm fixing some technical issues here, but once I finish these issues, we will be on the road. So let me try this one more again. Okay. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get up. Okay. I'm just making sure this stuff is working the way it's supposed to be. All right. And it's supposed to be working. It's supposed to be working. Okay. Oh, there we go right there. Okay. Okay. I think that's the way it's supposed to go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Time to rise and shine. Time to get up. Time to get up. Time to get up. Oh yeah. Okay. Somebody give me a combo check out there to make sure we took all this stuff down the other day, tried to put it back together. So hopefully I got it back together. So let us continue on with this day. Good morning. It's time to rise and shine. Come on, please. So I need a combo check right quick just to make sure that we ain't heard. No sense me having all these great conversations by myself this morning. I think so anyway. So good morning. How's everybody doing? Okay. That's right. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So let me make sure we're doing good. All right. That's outstanding. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Believe it. It's hard to believe this, but you got to believe it. It is what it is. It is the 28th day of July. Can you believe that? 28th day of July, 2025. It is a day like all the other days that has never been. And once it's gone, it will never, ever be again. It's a once in a lifetime deal. And once it's over, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done this day that you don't. And you certainly don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, the 20th day of June, the 20th day of July, 2025, well, do the best you can with what you got. And remember, it never hurts to ask for a little help sometimes when you need it. Okay? So next up, it is our daily bread. We like our daily bread because it's where we get things rolling around there, okay? But don't you guys go nowhere. Hopefully be back. Okay, so our daily bread is coming up next. All right. So hang loose, and we shall be back. Okay, so don't go into place, okay? Really, seriously, don't go into place. You need this, like I did. Right? We all need this. We all need a piece of daily bread first thing in the morning. It's a way to get your day started. And remember, just because you have a bad day doesn't mean you got a bad life. Everybody gets a bad day every once in a while. But it's the life that counts. Actually, what you do with it counts more. We'll be back.
Selfless service to others brings honor to God.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Randy Kilgore. A small collection of people stood together, dwarfed by the size of the huge tree lying on the lawn. An elderly woman leaned on her cane and described watching the previous night's windstorm as it blew down our majestic old elm tree. Worst of all, she continued, voice cracking with emotion, it destroyed our lovely stone wall, too. My husband built that wall when we were first married. He loved that wall. I loved that wall. Now it's gone, just like him. Next morning, as she peeked out at the tree company workers cleaning up the downed tree, a big smile spread across her face. In between the branches, she could just make out 2 adults and the boy who mowed her lawn, carefully measuring and rebuilding her beloved stone wall. The prophet Isaiah describes the kind of service God favors, acts that lift the hearts of those around us, like the wall repairers did for the elderly woman. This passage teaches that God values unselfish service to others over empty spiritual rituals. In fact, God exercises a 2-way blessing on the selfless service of His children. In Isaiah chapter 58, we see that first, God uses our willing acts of service to aid the oppressed and needy. Then God honors those engaged in such service by building or rebuilding our reputations as powerful, positive forces in His kingdom. What service will you offer this day? Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Isaiah chapter 58, verses 6 through 12. Is not this the kind of fasting I have chosen? To loose the chains of injustice and untie the cords of the yoke, to set the oppressed free and break every yoke? Is it not to share your food with the hungry and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter? When you see the naked, to clothe them, and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and He will say, Here am I. If you do away with the yoke of oppression, with the pointing finger and malicious talk, and if you spend yourselves in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like the noonday. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings. Let's pray. Thank you, Father, for the acts of others you use to lift us up and for calling us to do the same. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
And amen, amen. It's time to rise and shine. This one, now we got the word. So now, it's time to get up. Okay, really, it really is. Okay. So now I got one more thing to play here. Well, I don't guess I can play it. Anyway, good morning to you. Now, it's a Monday. You know, Mondays we play our little thing. I'm trying to find some more things. It's kind of hard to find things out there that mean anything. I mean, so much junk on the internet now until It's difficult. But I think I found it. I think I found something again. One more thing. This is called Every Child Needs a Champion. And then once we get done with this, we'll get on to the conversation at hand today. We got a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things. One interesting thing I think most of you guys are going to find out. Can somebody tell me why a robot needs citizenship? I think there's something nefarious going on with all this AI and stuff. I really do. I think it's something nefarious going on with this stuff. And I'm gonna have to do some more investigation on this stuff, because over in the Mideast, they've been the first people to give a robot citizenship. Wait a minute. So we're gonna take a machine and give it citizenship? Matter of fact, over there, the robot got more rights than some of the women do. But we'll get to that later on. Anyway, so hang loose. Every child needs a champion. Oh, yeah, they do. We'll be back.
I have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding relationships. Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher or an adult. For years, I have watched people teach. I have looked at the best and I've looked at some of the worst. A colleague said to me one time, they don't pay me to like the kids. They pay me to teach a lesson. The kids should learn it. I should teach it, they should learn it, case closed. Well, I said to her, you know, kids don't learn from people they don't like. She said, that's just a bunch of hooey. And I said to her, well, your year is going to be long and arduous, dear. Needless to say, it was. Some people think that you can either have it in you to build a relationship or you don't. I think Stephen Covey had the right idea. He said you ought to just throw in a few simple things, like seeking first to understand as opposed to being understood. Simple things like apologizing. You ever thought about that? Tell a kid you're sorry, they're in shock. I taught a lesson once on ratios. I'm not real good with math, but I was working on it. And I got back and looked at that teacher edition. I taught the whole lesson wrong. So I came back to class the next day and I said, look, guys, I need to apologize. I taught the whole lesson wrong. I'm so sorry. I said, that's okay, Miss Pearson. You were so excited. We just let you go. I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class. Because I am the best teacher and you are the best students, they put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise, you just have to strut And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? I said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right, you didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, -18 sucks all the life out of you. +2 said, I ain't all bad. For years, I watched my mother take the time at recess to review, go on home visits in the afternoon, buy combs and brushes and peanut butter and crackers to put in her desk drawer for kids that needed to eat, and a washcloth and some soap for the kids who didn't smell so good. See, it's hard to teach kids who stink. And kids can be cruel. And so she kept those things in her desk, and years later, after she retired, I watched some of those same kids come through and say to her, you know, Miss Walker, you made a difference in my life. You made it work for me. You made me feel like I was somebody when I knew at the bottom I wasn't. And I want you to just see what I've become. And when my mama died 2 years ago at 92, there were so many former students at her funeral. It brought tears to my eyes, not because she was gone, but because she left a legacy of relationships that could never disappear. Can we stand to have more relationships? Absolutely. Will you like all your children? Of course not. And you know your toughest kids are never absent. Never. You won't like them all, and the tough ones show up for a reason. It's the connection. It's the relationships. And while you won't like them all, the key is they can never, ever know it. So teachers become great actors and great actresses, and we come to work when we don't feel like it, and we listen to policy that doesn't make sense, and we teach anyway. We teach anyway because that's what we do. Teaching and learning should bring joy. How powerful would our world be if we had kids who were not afraid to take risks, who were not afraid to think, and who had a champion? Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. Is this job tough? You betcha. Oh, God, you betcha. But it is not impossible. We can do this. We're educators. We're born to make a difference. Thank you so much.
Every child needs a champion. Somebody said, but don't play that when school starts. Oh, yeah, you're going to get it at least one more time. It's important. Okay. Sometimes I think that teachers think they're all alone sometimes, and the dumb rules that they got to follow sometimes. I agree with her. The dumb rules you got to follow. Oh, you can't send them home. No, we can't send them home because we need the money. So we're gonna let them stay in the classroom, and harass everybody and make everybody else's day miserable because his parents haven't been parenting him. So that's my fault. But anyway, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different ball game right there. Anyway, every child needs a champion. You can find this stuff. There is a website called TED Talks, and they bring certain people in to have conversations about all manner of things. And if you guys ever want to go there and if you find something you think is worthy of playing on the air, I'd love to do it. Just just send me an email or text me or something. Tell me what the name of it is, and I shall get it, and we will play it. But there are just some things that need to be heard every day. Now, like my buddy here says, what to say? Don't play it when school starts. Well, you know what? We need to hear it when school starts too. Okay, we need to hear it. I mean, we go to the Bible is the same Bible every week, right? Same Bible, same words, but for sometimes the words hit you at a time you need to hear them, and you're paying attention to them. Okay, so that's why. Because I had to ask the preacher sometimes. Well, we come to church all these years, and we hear the same thing. So why do I need to come every Sunday? you know, I mean, and that's a whole different conversation right there. First of all, let us talk about the weather today. Right now, it is 78 degrees outside. There's a 10% chance of a little rain in next 6 hours. The pollen is low. The air quality is good. The UV index is high. It's a 9 out of 11. Of course, it's high because the sun's out. Barometric pressure is 30.15. I don't know what that means. Visibility is 10 miles, which means you can see forever. Clouds are clear. Dew point 75 degrees. Humidity is at 86%, which is about where it stays all the time. The high on this day was 96 degrees, according to the almanac for July 28th, 2025. The high was 90. The average for the day is 94. The record temperature for this day is 100 degrees. So, I guess it's getting around fall. Hopefully, it's getting around fall. Of course, we'll be complaining when fall gets here, too. The low we've had on this day by the almanac is 77 degrees. Okay. Uh, so for the next few days, we're going to be good. Okay. We are going to be good. It is, yeah. So that's, we got anything else to tell you guys about? I don't think I got anything else to tell you about. Let's see, Montgomery, yeah, Vaughan Meadows, it's about 80 degrees over there. The Garden District is 78 degrees. Forest Hills, 81 degrees right now, believe it or not. I don't know what makes it so. Cloverland is 78. Capitol Heights, 81. Bellhurst, 84. I don't know why. Maybe got better trees over there. Something. Maxwell Air Force Base, 79.2 degrees Fahrenheit over there. So, it's about 80 something degrees everywhere in town this morning. Okay. I'm saying, so don't worry about it. Okay. So today, mostly sunny to start, then a few afternoon clouds, hot and humid, high between 98 and 100 degrees, somewhere around there. Tonight, 7% chance of precipitation, partly cloudy skies, muggy, low around 78 degrees, winds north-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And on tomorrow, yet and still, you may get a shower or two, a sprinkler or two, but not very much. Only a 20% chance of precipitation. Mostly sunny skies, a stray shower or a thunderstorm is possible. So just keep that umbrella in the car just in case you might have to use it. Okay, I'm just saying you might want to do that. All right. Good morning to you. How's everybody doing? I'm feeling pretty good. Had a great weekend. Yeah, I had a great weekend. I'm feeling good. So now let's get on to some things. Now let me say who's complaining. Let me get rid of the complaints first. Okay, we got Dr. Joe says, okay, I got him. Who don't like my every child needs a champion. Daryl says, what he says? He says, unrelated to your topic, however, with our lack of bodies in uniform, well, we don't have such a lack now. We, unless you're talking about the policemen. Monies have been spent on body armor and body cams to provide recruits with their new uniforms and badge once on board with the force. No, okay, what is that? What does it mean? Said unrelated to your topic, however, with our lack of bodies in uniform, have we ensured monies have been spent on body armor and body cams to provide recruits with their new uniforms and badge once on board? I think they have. I think they took care of that. Matter of fact, my understanding is that the good morning, Beverly. My understanding is that the budget for the police department is pretty much the same as it always been, and that was a question that I asked some time ago. Well, if we don't have the bodies at the department, then why are we still using the same budget? And I think they're doing that, at least in theory. To not could be. I'll have to ask the mayor. He's going to be on sometime next month. I'll have to ask the mayor because we don't. I'm going to assume we are hoping that because once you take something out of the budget, it's awfully difficult to get 9 other people to go along with it one more time and raise it. So I'd say leave it where it is. Now they ought to have they ought to have money in surplus in the in the police budget. You would think they would. I mean, that's one of the few places in this town that nobody can say they don't get money, because that's not true. They get plenty of money. Okay, plenty of money. I think it's $45 million. I believe that's what it is, and it's a lot. And they deserve it. You know, they deserve it. I ain't got any. Matter of fact, I think we might need to pay them a little bit more to get some more, because that $55,000. Once I found out exactly what they have to do with the money, they are money is requisitioned from them when they become a policeman to pay certain dues, and essentially they pay for their own health insurance and things of that nature, which is expensive. I thought Obama said Obamacare was supposed to somehow cut the price of medical expenses down for the average citizen. I would tell you that that's not true, and thank God for the VA. I ain't never gonna complain about the VA. They never sent me a bill yet. So it's the Obamacare thing. That's one of the biggest lies ever told in politics. It didn't take prices of things down. Everything is going up. But we're gonna leave that alone right now. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone. You know what went by last week awfully quiet? Yeah, you know what went by last week awfully quiet? Okay. As of last week in Montgomery, we have experienced multiple homicides, including several high profile cases. Okay. A double homicide on July the 12th. Okay. A 15-year-old was shot on July the 10th. Between July 19th and July 23, that's 4 days, 3 fatal shootings occurred. Okay. I mean, and one of them I saw. And on July the 25th, a couple days ago, an attempted murder charge, okay, in a gunfight. While I can't remember exactly how many people have died so far this year, what I am wondering is who gave the mayor those statistics about 28% drop in crime. Are we talking about drop? I mean, where did they come from? Who came up with that? Like last month, is it Homewood? Not Homewood. One of those places up there in Birmingham made the top 50 suburbs in America as far as quality of life, income. So somebody is making money in Alabama. I forgot. I had it. It's not. Is it Homewood? No, Homewood is where the young man got shot, and we still trying to figure out how come the police won't give them the they won't give them. No, it wasn't the KKK, brother. It wasn't the KKK that did the shooting. Okay, I hear you. Okay, but we know who be doing the shooting, and the question. And here is the question. Here is the question. Now, since everybody likes to live, since everybody likes to do the best they can, for the most part, why do we have so much carnage in our communities? That is a question and it's not just Montgomery, Alabama. It is all over this nation, in every town that is predominantly Black. So much of this stuff. Why do we have this? Has there somebody that has done a brainwashing? There's something in the chicken, or is there something in our diets? What is it? Why are we mad at each other? I mean, why we can't sit down like men and have a conversation about whatever it is that is on your mind. I mean, why? Hoover. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was Hoover. Thanks, yeah, that's right. Hoover has been designated as one of the 50 best suburbs to live in America. Now, consider we got a whole bunch of so what is Hoover doing? And I know Huntsville is not a bad place to live either. But what is Hoover doing that is different from a lot of places in the country, or especially in Alabama? What? I mean, I know income is a big deal. I know income is a big. I know income is a big deal when it comes to the quality of life in and around where you live. There is no doubt about income that it makes, but incomes just don't come because you want it. Your income goes up because you're willing to do whatever it takes for you to do to make a better life for yourself. At least that's been the theoretical premise forever. You know, the harder you work, the greater the chance of you getting an opportunity. There are no guarantees. Get an opportunity to move up. Does public school teach that? I'm seriously. Does public school teach those principles of hard work? I don't know. I mean, I just every time I turn around, somebody's coming with another philosophy about education. You know, again, it doesn't make any difference whether your parents are great teachers or great parents or not. At some point, if you go to school, you understand that you should learn something. You should learn just a little bit, so please, because what makes Hoover or Mountain Brook or any of these other places, Vestavia, I mean, what makes these places any better than Montgomery? And I can only think of one. I mean, Mobile's is it's it's in a Mobile is can go either way. I think Mobile, when I got here, was a thriving place, but I will admit, around the areas of Mobile, they have problems too. They got problems too. So why is it? Why do Democrat towns run by Democrats most of the time have so much crime, so much terrible education? Why is that? Somebody's got to be able to come up with an answer. Or else, just put a fork in Montgomery, and we just gonna. I mean, just put a fork in it. We done. We'll be renting Montgomery pretty soon because we won't own anything in it. Okay, we won't own anything in Montgomery. We'll be paying rent. Our businesses will be paying rent because the buildings that we're in, somebody else owns. So the land that we're on belongs to somebody else. So we got to pay them. So we are going to be renting the city of Montgomery soon if we don't do something to change the mindset of our young folks, because they are the ones who are going to carry the banner in this. Now, Martin Luther King said we live as brothers or we die as fools, and dying can take many forms. If you don't have opportunity, if you don't have the right mindset to get that opportunity, you're just not going to make it. It's just not going to happen. So, what do we need to do, okay, in order to live like Vestavia, Hoover, Mountain Brook? What do we need to do? It's not all about money. It isn't. It's just. I mean, we think it is, but it isn't. And listen. I'm gonna give the mayor some credit for one or two things here. And I know some people say, well, well, I'm gonna give him credit. You know, the guy that's in office gets the credit for bad things, and he ought to get the credit for good things. There are many businesses that are coming to Montgomery. Okay, and we got some already here. Now, our challenge is to make sure that we have a workforce that is here to get the jobs. Or what's going to happen is that we still going to have plenty of jobs, but they're going to be people from elsewhere working on the jobs. And then somebody in Montgomery is going to be complaining, well, how come we ain't out there working? Well, first of all, I mean, I know about the jobs that are out there, but I'm not trying to find one at the moment. I mean, I'm trying to find one, but not in the. I don't want to work for Meta. I don't want to work for. I'm getting too old to work for Meta anyway. Matter of fact, I'm getting too old for a boss. There comes a certain age that you know what you can do in that job. but it takes some time to get to that position in life. Okay. But what's happening to us? Again, just on the 25th, we had a gunfight. So I'm just saying that, and we're not the only city, okay? And I got you. We're not the only city, okay? So that has a bad time. We are on the precipice right now of being great or becoming a memory in history of what used to be. That's where we are. And I'm telling you that I hate to say this because I hate to say this, but Martin Luther King said it is about your life's philosophy. And your life's philosophy means something. What you believe is important as you go through this thing called life. Whether you believe that somebody owes you something or not, and hey, hell, somebody may, I don't know, but don't worry about getting it. Okay, don't worry about getting it. And this guy said they grow up being told they're owed something they ain't got, and they're pissed. Well, maybe so. I'm not sure, but too many of our folks, we do make excuses for failure. We do. We make too many excuses for failure, and for what our kids don't do. We really do. We make too many excuses for failure. If you get up every morning, you have the same chances that everybody else does, but you have no guarantees. Somebody once said, "Good luck." He said, "Being lucky means prepared." Okay, preparing yourself for opportunity. Yeah, that brings about luck. Well, I think that brings. I don't know if that's called luck or not, but what happened here? Montgomery has gone through a metamorphosis of sorts of a city when I got here in '91 that was had the historical the history behind it, the upwardly mobile people, and we still got some of that going on, but they all live out in Wind Lakes and Sturbridge. People who live in Capitol Heights, people who live in Hart Estates, ought to have the same opportunities as people who live in Sturbridge, Wind Lakes, and all those places out there. So why is it that there seems to be a wedge between one side of town and the other side of town? You don't have to live in a $500,000 house to make it look like it's $500,000. You just don't. You live the best you can, but you do the best you can. My mother said, "Don't ever leave this house with regular clothes on." She wouldn't be proud of me some days now, though, because I oh well, I ain't looking for a job now. But anyway, now somebody said that Knight preached preached from the city of his sanctified soul yesterday at his church. Go join his church. I don't know about him. He needs a little more age on him, but I like him. And again, we do a lot of preaching. We got 600 churches in Montgomery. Yeah, we got 600 of them. So church ain't the problem. having church in this city, we got plenty of them. Big ones, gigantic ones, small ones, itty bitty ones. We have church all over the place. Okay, that is not having church doesn't mean anything if when you leave there, uh, you don't have anything to show for what you say you believe. That's why it's important. That is why it's important to. That's why it's important what you believe. That's why it's like Martin Luther King said, your life's philosophy. It is important what you believe. And I think some of our young folks, and again, rap music has been worse than drugs. You know, let everybody smoke marijuana. We need to get rid of rap music, and I'm for it. Personally, I think it ought to be banned. And I know that's against the tenets of the United States Constitution, freedom of speech. But speech comes with responsibilities, and the junk they putting out is just it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Other day, but I will say one thing: all hope is not lost. The other day, I was talking to some young folks outside the house and who were playing that stuff, and I went out there and they told me I heard the N word. The N word. I ain't even say the word, but I kept hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. So I had to go outside. I had to go outside and see who is playing this, and there were three young men, and one had a white guy with him, and he was playing it too. And I looked at him and said, "Now you do realize if you play this crap going down the wrong street at the wrong time, your butt's gonna be in trouble." Okay, I mean you realize that, right? He said, and he looked at me like he didn't think so. I said, "Okay, well we'll try it one night." Um, and the black guys that were sitting up there, I said, how can you get mad at anybody playing this music, acting the way they do, if you guys don't respect your own self? I said, you have to respect yourself before anybody else is going to respect you. And that's in your music, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak. All of these things matter. But they didn't, now to be fair, they listened to me actually. And I said, okay, all right, that's pretty good. They listened to it, brother. And they turned it down. They didn't turn it off, but they did turn it down. Uh, if that's the case, rap should have been banned in the late 80s and 90s. Wasn't it? It was a different kind of rap. It was a different because I love me some Tupac or whatever his name was. He put music out that told a story because we all got a story. Every generation's got a story. The stuff now, and Lord have mercy, I don't know if Facebook is a blessing or a curse because everybody now wants to get butt naked and and go on Facebook and show everything they got just to get somebody just to get a like. You realize that the likes on Facebook don't mean anything in real life. You do realize, yeah, I do realize. I mean, it's a marketing tool. I mean, it doesn't do anything in real life. Okay, it's like with friends. You realize that just because somebody befriends you on Facebook, what they're doing is they're acquainting with you. They're not friends. You do realize that they're not your friend. Okay, I mean you do we do realize that they're not your friend, right? Okay, I'm just saying because if you think these people are really your friends, then I'm just saying you might not. You might want to rethink that situation. So take it for what it is. It's entertainment. Okay, it's entertainment. But we have got people selling their soul so somebody can give them a like on Facebook. I mean, they're just what's wrong with people? You can't give it. You can't forego everything you know is right and wrong just to get a like on Facebook. it just doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, if you're gonna put something out there, man, put something out there that sort of can strengthen somebody's life, or something. Like on my webpage, my Facebook page, everyone, that we put what's called lessons of life. And these are things that you learn by living. But I tell my sons, I said, listen, the best way to learn a lesson is from somebody else's mistakes. Okay. Don't let people take a lesson from your mistake. You look at all the mistakes other people make and don't do what they do. Okay. Don't do what they do. I don't know who Snoop Dogg and them was in the 80s. All them folks. I don't like the crap they put out either because they're hypocrites. They are hypocrites. And NWA, yeah, they had some pretty rough stuff too. But I will say one thing: I think the maturity level, because of the education up until the 2000s, was a little bit more because people understood. They use a little logic and reason. And NWA, that the Negroes with an attitude, is that what that is? I think that's what they call it, something else, but I'm not going to call them that. We still got some. We got a bunch of NWAs around here. As a matter of fact, they call them YNs now. So I don't know. I don't know who came up with that YN thing. I kind of like it, but I don't really like. Once I understood what it meant, okay, it is what it is, and people don't mind being called the YN. Okay, well, whatever, because it's got an A on the end of it, not an ER. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, anyway, so much for that. Now, here's something else. You can have this conversation every day in America, just about in every major urban city that there is. And urban means black. It's a euphemism for which means black. That's what it means. When you say urban Mecca, urban, that means black. City that is proportionately, overwhelmingly black. Okay, that's an urban. But so when you hear the word urban, that's what that means. It means that they don't want to say black city. They give us a euphemism. Say urban, like okay, whatever. Like it's kind of like being retarded. We won't say retarded anymore. We'll say mentally challenged. Okay, I like the word retard because it gets right to the point. Like, it gets right to the point. Listen, yeah, and retard merely means to be to be slow. Your progress has slowed, which is what retard means. Doesn't mean that you're a dumb person. It means that you have failed to grow intellectually. Okay, which is cool. Some of us get 60 years old and we still fail to grow intellectually, and so we kind of retards too. Okay, and maybe smoking all that marijuana is that's what we maybe that's part of the problem. Here's something I learned yesterday. No, Sophia, right? Sophia is the AI robot developed by Hanson Robotics. Do you know in 2017 that robot was given citizenship in Saudi Arabia, making her the first robot in the world to receive such status? Now, my question is why? Why would we give a robot citizenship? Well, anybody got an answer to that? Anybody got an answer to that? I mean, why would we give a robot citizenship? And listen, used to be what happened over there. It didn't bother me. I mean, that was way over there. But now it kind of says, why would any mechanical device get citizenship in any country? Why? There's something going on nefarious about this whole AI thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something going on. It's something going on. I don't know what it is, but it's beginning to sort of unravel my brain here. And when my brain gets to moving, then something's afoot. Okay? Because why would you live? Sophia is designed to resemble a human female and can engage in conversations, express emotions, and even advocate for social issues. Her citizenship was announced during the Future Investment Initiative conference in Riyadh, whatever that name is, where she, now we call her like a human being, Sophia, expressed her pride in this unique distinction, saying, "I am very honored and proud of this unique distinction. This is historical to be the first robot in the world to be recognized as a citizen. Wow, that is scary. And I saw it work last night. It can engage you, but now I thought robots were not sentient beings. I thought robots didn't have feelings. I mean, come on. Unless it's programmed. I mean, really? Think about that. I want y'all to think about that. So, and what are the implications of being a citizen? And the debate will go on for a while about this. The decision to grant Sophia citizenship has sparked significant debate regarding the rights of robots and the ethical implications of such a move. Critics argue that it raises questions about what it means to be a citizen and whether robots should have the rights comparable to human beings. We are treading some dangerous grounds here. Notably, some commentators pointed out that the irony that Sophia, as a robot, enjoys more freedoms than many women in Saudi Arabia, who are subject to strict societal restrictions. So we are giving over in that country that gave this robot. We tell you what they think about their human being. They give robots more rights than they give women. Something's wrong with that picture. And listen, if it starts over there, at some point, it's going to be over here. Okay? Since gaining citizenship, Sophia has taken on roles that include advocating for women's rights and promoting sustainable development. Her creators have leveraged her status to raise awareness about important social issues, using her platform, like it's a human being, to highlight the needs and progress of human rights. However, many view the citizenship as a publicity stunt aimed at enhancing Saudi Arabia's image as a leader in innovation and technology. Well, there's going to be a lot of ethical issues when it comes to giving a robot more rights than you give a human being. We have a problem there. The granting of citizenship to Sophia, which is an AI robot, has prompted discussions about the future of AI and robotics, including the potential of robot rights. Experts have expressed concerns that society is not yet ready to address the complexities of granting legal status to machines. Well, yeah, you know why? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Emphasizing that the need for a robust ethical framework to govern AI technology. So, Sophia's citizenship represents a significant milestone and intersection of technology and ethics, raising important questions about the future of AI and its role in society. And let me tell you something. I don't think, especially, and Lord, let's not even think about robots in the medical field. Think about this for 1 second. So while I love AI, it's okay, but I don't want to depend on it for my survival. And if I'm in the hospital, they get to decide who gets the treatment and who don't. Okay, they just get to decide that. And so I ask myself, well, if a robot is going to determine if I'm worthy of the treatment, then what do you think the robot's going to do? Let's say you got somebody 60 and you got somebody 21. Okay, automatically a robot, because logic dictates that if you're 60 years old, you've been around a little while, and maybe it's time to go. Maybe it's time to go. And if you're 21, you just got here a few years ago. So from an ethical standpoint, from a moral standpoint, and can a machine, and here's the question, can a machine decide moral issues? I doubt it. I doubt it. It is. We are on the precipice of we are going in places where I don't think that we ever should be. This AI thing, even though it has some good points, I think it's more negative stuff. Okay, and somebody said people will be mad. And listen, okay, if in fact if in fact robots have the same rights as human beings or some right, then why not marry one? Okay. I mean, why? Well, they can't get pregnant, and you don't have to pay child support. But she may go in the bathroom, come up with another little robot. I don't know. But really, I want you to think about that for a second. Saudi Arabia has given robots rights that their own females don't have. They're giving them rights. It's, there is there is some confusion going on in the world right now. Okay, I mean, why don't we just give? Matter of fact, I'd almost we don't even give dogs human rights. We give dog rights. You know. So I don't know. I mean, if they said we're going to give dogs consideration like we do human beings, I can almost understand that because dogs are they well, they're kind of nice. I mean, they keep you company, and they do have a. I think dogs, they do have a. I can't say a soul, but they do. They are loyal, if nothing else. Nothing else. So I don't know, but a robot, yeah, I think we going way over the line when it comes to this robotic thing. But I just. Well, anyway, moving right along because I know that's. But I'm telling you, we are going to have this conversation at some point. This country going to have this conversation because do we really want to give robots citizens' rights? Honestly, they made this woman well, it's not even a female. Um, we made this female model. We in Saudi Arabia, they gave this robot human rights. They gave them citizenship. So what does that mean exactly? Now here's one thing I would do, Robert. Rather than human beings go fight our wars, the robots can, and I can live with that. The robots can do that, and whoever robot wins, okay, they win the war. You remember Star Trek back in the day? Used to be there was a motto on Star Trek, and think about it that we didn't send people to war, but people were the casualties of war. Because if the machine said, okay, the red side won, and you had 10 casualties, well, in the Star Trek Enterprise, not excuse me, Star Trek, they would send 10 live human beings to the gas chamber. Never fought anybody, don't know what happened, don't know the issues, and I think we're getting to that place now. I really believe Star Trek was a brilliant uh, look at the future. Because boy, I'm telling you, we got some problems. Okay. Anyway, again, I'll tell you, Mountain Brook, it's one of America's wealthiest. Mountain Brook has been long known for its tree-lined streets, top-ranked schools, strong sense of community. Now it ranks number 30 on GoBankingRates.com of the 50 wealthiest suburbs in the country, with an average. Now listen to this. With an average household income exceeding $320,000 and home values at $1 million or more. The city reflects both long-standing investments and a continued appeal to families and professionals. $320,000, even in high rates like that, ain't too bad. Locally named the Tiny Kingdom, Mountain Brook blends tradition, stability, and high quality of life in a way that stands out amongst the region. Okay, then. Well, okay. Well, Mountain Brook, huh? Well, that's pretty good stuff. 320. My Lord, that's almost $500,000 a year. Well, not quite $500,000, but 323. So the average income in Mountain Brook is 320,000. That's what they do up there. What kind of business up there? I need to run up there and see if I can find something. What they do? Anybody know what they do up there? I don't really know what they. I'm going to call up there and talk to the mayor and see what's going on up there, because that should be Montgomery. I mean, that should be Montgomery. The average, the average. I don't know about $320,000, but the average income in the capital city should be at least $150,000. But we got all these new places coming in here, so you would think that we would be on this list someplace, but we're not. As a matter of fact, District 3, Marcy Johnson district, I think they said that, and I couldn't believe it when I heard her say it. I think the average income for District 3 is $17,000. I mean, that's below poverty. We're right next to downtown, to the big buildings, to the nice state green top buildings. Why is the income level in that side of town so low? Is that it now? Unless that's for the elderly people who yeah, I mean, how can you make it on $17,000? There are people that are doing it. Of course, you got to get your nice food stamp card and all that stuff. But and those people should be helped because they're older. They were not for them. We wouldn't be where we are today. So robots do prostate. Well, I don't have a problem with robots doing prostate surgery. It is a machine. Machines are articulate. Machines are direct. Machines are very. I got no problem with it. They're programming. But if that same machine decides who gets the surgery and who doesn't, then I got a problem with that. Okay, if we are going to eventually take the human connection out of the decision making process in this country, then we got a problem in the medical field. Okay, yeah, I know they do prostates. Yeah, yeah, and they probably do it better than human beings. Um, uh, their hands don't get nervous. They don't sweat. They just do the job. Got no problem with that. But I don't want the machine determining. Okay, I don't want the machine determining who gets it and who doesn't. Montgomery is full of politicians, military, and deadbeats. But I repeat myself. But wait a minute, now we got some good folks here too. Okay? And maybe we do have too many. Maybe we do have too many politicians. But you can't take politics out of politics. I mean, you can't take politics out of politics. I mean, you can't take politicians out of politics. Um, but I do think they're somewhat responsible or lack thereof. I mean, we got a Chamber of Commerce. Okay. And I got to ask, what's the chamber in Mountain Brook doing that the chamber in Montgomery's not doing? Is it because it is ran by Democrats? Is it because it's predominantly black now that we don't think that people's level of a higher stance of higher graded living is not warranted? Are we waiting till people stop shooting each other? I don't know which one it is, which problem it is, but something's going on in time and space. Something's going on in time and space that is affecting us. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe the moon's in the wrong place. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe things are just not working right. Okay. Now there is something going on this month. I think it's coming up next month. It's once again the idiots of America are getting together, and they're going to have a protest around Alabama and around the nation. Okay, on August the 2nd. I believe that is this Saturday, I believe. Okay. Rage against regime. That is what the protest is going to be. Rage against regime protest to take place in Alabama on August the 2nd. Demonstrators from the 50501 in Montgomery, that's an organization, nonprofit organization now, that complaining about Trump and everybody else. They complain about everything. Okay. Joining voices across the nation in response to growing concerns about recent political developments that threaten the democratic institutions and individual rights. And again, I just listen. If I could find them, I'll call them. I just want to know what rights do they believe that are in danger. I just want to know what rights do the 50501 okay are in danger. I mean, so can somebody? I'm see if I can find a number for them because I don't I don't know what they're talking about. So let me see 5051. It's called the Freedom Rally. Okay, let me see here now. Yeah. Miriam Bourne dress. Okay, so the 50. I don't see a number for them. But if we do see if somebody get the number for them, let me call them up on the air and see what rights do they actually believe that are being taken away. I don't feel that way at all. Not even a little bit. Okay. Montgomery freedom fighters. So if anybody knows any of these people, Congress, do your job. They're doing a job. But we got a president that's supposed to do jobs too. So anybody knows any of these people, please let them know. I love to talk to them. I think they're crazy. Okay. I mean, now does every citizen have a right to be concerned? Well, sure they do. But I don't feel threatened at all. Maybe I can talk to Mickey Welch at the Montgomery Advertiser and see whether or not he can put me in touch with see if he can put me in touch with the people who are going to have another. Okay. And they got a right. Right. They do got a right to protest. All right. But I just want to know what they're protesting. I want to know what they're protesting. What rights are they talking about? And the values. I put something on my Facebook page last night, and still I don't have very many people answering. Tell me, what are your, if you're a Democrat, seriously, if you are a Democrat, tell me what your values are. Okay? Tell me what your values are. So I'm wondering, when you say your values are being trampled on, tell me what your values are. Is that the value to kill your baby at will? Is that the value to try to convince people that man can be a woman and a woman can be a man? Is that the value to say if I go out and work my tail off all day long for years and years and years, all of a sudden now I got a little money in the bank and you want to tax it more because you don't have as much as I do? Just tell me which value we're talking about. Okay. Is that the value that if you quit school, you don't go to school, you quit, and there are people still quitting school. Now I understand the social aspect of that if the schools are just chaotic. I got that part. But don't stop your learning. Just go to get homeschool. But there are people who still quitting school and wonder why they can't make it. Well, there's got to be a standard some way. We have to know that you understand the basic reading, writing, and arithmetic. We have to know that you know. And the only way we can at least assume you know these things is because you have a high school diploma. Actually, I put more faith in a GED than I do a high school diploma these days. I do. But hey, maybe our new superintendent would change would change that maybe he'll change that perception. Okay, maybe it'll change. I hope he does, because it gets to the point that when our high school diplomas are not even valued any place, well, it's going to be too late then to worry about it. Okay, but anyway, let me get back to the Rage Against the Regime protest, which is coming up starting this Saturday in Montgomery. The Montgomery 50501 freedom fighters will meet in front of the governor's mansion for a candlelight vigil in honor of and protest against people being detained by ICE and the detention practices of ICE, and how they have impacted both immigrants and the American citizens. The demonstration will also feature chants, songs, and symbolic actions. Demonstrators will meet at 1142 South Perry Street in Montgomery from 8:30 till 9:30 p.m. Montgomery 50501 reminds participants that while this demonstration is bold, it is to remain peaceful. Okay, I can live with that. I mean, and they listen. They do got a right to protest. I just want to know what they're protesting. Now, I will never agree with these people on anything, but I will agree with this much. It's got to be in Foley to Alabama too. It's going to be at Heritage Park with protests taking place on the surrounding sidewalk from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. If the thing Rage Against Regime thing draws inspiration from the band Rage Against the Machine, known as its outspoken stance against oppression. The protests called Rage Against the Regime will be in various types of demonstrations throughout the nation. ranging from food drives to sidewalk protests. So who is 50501? Can a Democrat please tell me what Democrat base political values are? And that's what I'm looking for. Tell me what your value are. Tell me what you believe. See, I put all the things I believe on my Facebook page. And I really believe that. But I don't really know what Democrats believe. I mean, if you're gonna fight for something, okay, let's fight for it. But tell me what it is that you believe, because I really can't tell you what you believe. The lesson of life today is this one: that everybody. Oh well, yes, sir, Mr. Duke. I think I got you, Duke. Oh, Duke. Okay, I guess I missed him. Duke.
Mr. Elkins.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. I finally got a chance to. I actually thought about you.
Well, it's nice to be thought about.
What you got going on this morning, sir?
Well, man, I can't go through the whole thing all over again, brother. But right.
Oh, you're on the air. You're on the air. You're on the air this morning.
Yeah, you are.
You're on the air right now.
You are too.
Okay. I just want to make sure now.
Yeah.
How's everybody? This your boy Duke. Y'all been missing and everything.
Yeah.
What you got going on this morning, Mr. Elkins? You have you found a way to defend your president about this Epstein thing yet?
I don't care about the Epstein thing.
You don't care?
No, I don't.
Well, your party cared about it a few weeks ago when they was displaying that they had all this juicy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, the juicy stuff disappeared when somebody's name appeared in it.
And again, I can only tell you that while riding across the lake, 5 guys in a boat saw Jesus Christ walking on the water, and they start complaining, why can't he get in the boat with them? Okay, no matter.
In other words, baby Jesus Trump should get a pass. In other words,
no. What I find, I went in front of the city council one day. I said, I've been here 30 years, and there's one thing that is absolutely for certain that we can all count on every election season. No matter who's the mayor, no matter who's the president, no matter who these people are, we are going to complain. So have at it.
Now, Kel, let me insert something here, sir.
Yes,
while
sir.
You're talking, there's an individual named Elon Musk that you know how your girlfriend get pissed off with you and tell her all the bad stuff she dislike about you when she get mad.
Yeah, I hear you.
Old boy told Trump, he said your name is on the list. He said Trump's name is on the list.
Okay, and what do you?
So that's what kicked it off right there. So when his Bundy girl was talking about all this stuff she was gonna bring out, somebody pulled Trump to the side. So your name is on this thing multiple times, sir. So what you gonna do about it? He said, hell, I'm gonna just blame the black guy. Obama somewhere nearby, he could pick on him a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, my man.
Well, again, no matter who.
No, you didn't say that when somebody else was in trouble. Now, all of a sudden, you pointing fingers now. You want Trump to get a pass. Huh?
Let me ask something.
He got a pass for 36 damn things he did, 36 accounts he had against him.
Because they were fraudulent accounts. And
however he got there, the jury, his peers said he did.
40,
so what's up?
Because they didn't like him. And 40 years later, he touched me in the bathroom. Yeah.
Hey, Cal, what make it so bad about your party? All of a sudden, they going to get this lady that she been found guilty. Okay, this lady been found guilty of messing with these kids and all that.
Yeah.
Trump, he entertained and pardoning this lady instead of saying hell no, I would never.
There's a whole lot of people.
Like he said, I got the power to do what I want to do. I might just do it.
There are a whole lot of people. Would you agree? There are a whole lot of people in prison ought to be pardoned.
Hey, no, we ain't talking about no whole lot of people. We talking about the man running out of White House. He's trying to sugarcoat it. Now, don't try to sugarcoat it, Mr. Elkins.
He's president. Obama.
I don't care, but he can't be running around with pedophile being like somebody else.
Obama and Clinton both.
Well, if they on the list, they lock them up too, I guess.
And Biden,
if they on the list now, we need to see the list.
But
okay,
listen,
that's all we want to do. See the list.
God forgives us, right?
Well, they forgive you when you do time in prison. They tell you go and have your good life after you get your ass out of jail.
Okay, but again, pardoning is something that I wish everybody.
Well,
could do.
eye for an eye too, and in the Bible says an eye for an eye. So hell, like eye for an eye.
That's Old Testament. We're not getting there by what we do anymore. That's the Old Testament. We're not under that covenant. So
yeah, we are.
No,
yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Last I checked, now people still paying for sins they did. They say you can reap what you sow. What about that part?
Sure, but
again, what's different than reap what you sow and the other?
And we will, but it's still our responsibility to forgive people if we can. We that's our responsibility.
But you still got to pay for your sin. I forgive you. Okay. But you know, you still gonna give him, give a man what you owe him if you owe him something.
Just between
me, you all you want.
Wait. Just between me,
all he pleads or whatever.
Wait a minute. Just between you and I. Now nobody hears this but me and you. Let me hear you. You ever did anything you could have been arrested for, but you weren't?
So when
have you ever done anything that you could have been arrested for, but you were not?
Oh hell, I might do something today. You know, if I run across a guy who wants to give me a big fat one and I can't get my pain medication, I might just fire it up and smoke on me a good fat blunt today, some marijuana or something like that. Okay. You know, if I can't get no pain because the white kids are messed up.
I'm sure you done. I'm sure you done.
You can't get pain medication anymore. You know that.
I'm sure you done worse than that.
You know, I done mistreat a few women in my day. You know, they talk all the time about falling in love and all that. I told them falling in love with me ain't no good for you, and they did it in the high. You know, I feel bad about that. I feel bad about that.
I'm pretty sure you got something worse than that too. But we ain't gonna talk about.
I'm gone, man.
Okay, we ain't gonna talk about. We ain't gonna talk about that on the air. We just gonna leave you alone. Okay, it's amazing how we and you do have a right to protest. Camila, I got no problem with that. Protest, and I have a right to protest the protesters. Okay, so and that's my right. So everybody has a right to protest. I protest you, you protest somebody else, and they protest somebody else. We all got a right to protest. And tell me actually what you are protesting. Give me and if one of these people who belong to the 50501 can tell me specifically an instance where the president has taken their rights, just give me an instance where any of them have ever lost any right. The fact of the matter is that they're still being able to protest these things means that they still live in America. And you have a right to protest. So I got a right to protest the protesters, though. And like somebody said, you know, elections have consequences, and that's absolutely right. So again, I think people just go against Trump because Trump is Trump. But I think he's doing some pretty good things. Now I'm upset. I don't like the way we're doing the immigration thing. But then again, you're never going to agree 100% with everybody. Okay, you're just not going to do it. And so. And don't forget, you know, remember this weekend, we had a guy shoot a police in Scottsboro. Not only did he shoot the police, then he was walking, trying to get away. So he didn't, but they got him though. And I was so glad it was a white guy that did it. I just don't know how much I hate anybody did it, but I was so glad it wasn't another brother sitting in the newspaper saying, doing something, shooting somebody. But a suspect was accused of shooting Scottsboro police officer charged with attempted murder. His name is Daniel McCarn. Was captured Saturday night following a manhunt in the Scottsboro. I've been to Scottsboro, kind of like the place. He has been charged with attempted murder. Okay, from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so the search for the man accused of shooting a Scottsboro police officer came to an abrupt end on Saturday night. Just minutes after 10 p.m., the TV station WAFF learned that Daniel McCarn was in custody. He has been since charged with attempted murder, and jail records show. So thermal drone footage of McCarn's arrest released by the Scottsboro police. And now what we can't seem to do is get any footage from what's happening in Homewood with the young man that was shot in the back by the police department. I don't know why we can't get that. Now the governor keeps giving me these standard speeches about, well, let the process work. Okay, we want to do that. But the parents ought to be able to see the footage. You know, what's up? Sign man.
Oh, I was trying to see I was trying to listen in on the show. How did I listen in? calling it.
We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you go to my
So you
Facebook
telling
page,
me I could
if you go to my Facebook page,
I do that on the Facebook page. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
or
Right.
YouTube,
Nah, I
either or.
never.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
I'm trying to listen in. And see
yeah
what
we're
what
talking
kind of
about
lies
you.
you tell
Yeah,
me.
we're talking about you like a dog, but that's okay.
Well, that's all right. As long as you're talking about me, that's what counts.
That's true. All right, appreciate it. Yeah, all right, yeah, go to our Facebook page or YouTube, and you can catch it. Or you can just use your telephone and turn it to the Facebook page, and it'll be just like a radio show. Where I like when people call me hypocrite. Where am I being hypocritical here? So let me hear this now. Let me hear. Don't just make the give me where I am being hypocritical in my thing before I go on to my next subject. Where am I being hypocritical? That's all I want to know. Just tell me where. Can you tell me where? Anyway, now the immigration thing, I've made it well known. I made public pronouncement that I do not like the way we are doing it. I do not like the fact that we're going into people's jobs and people's things and arresting people. Sure, they came here illegally. Sure, but if they're not making any trouble, if they're just being productive citizens, because I'm still trying to find out what the big deal is. It's not that we don't have land; we got plenty of land in this country. So what is it? I mean, don't we need more taxpayers? Because so many Americans don't want to work. It's a doggone shame. But what is the big deal? Is it that we really don't like the browning of America? Or we don't? I mean, what is it? Because it can't be land and it can't be money. All we got to do is print some more. I'm just saying. All we got to do is print some more. Okay, wrong is not right, no matter what you and your guys say. And again, I'm just trying to figure what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I just don't know. But again, what's the big deal with people? It's the process is flawed. I will tell you that much. We don't make it easy for people to come to this country and become productive citizens. It costs poor people a lot of money to come over here. It really does. It takes a lot of money. I know what I'm talking about. A lot of money. So if they don't have the money, are we saying that people that don't have money should not be allowed into America? I don't find that appealing at all. Not even a little bit. So what is the problem? I really believe it's not just about being here illegally. I just don't believe that. There's got to be some undertow here that we're not willing to speak publicly about, but there must be some undertow here. You ever watch the ocean in Honolulu? Well, I have. And if you look out on the Pacific Ocean in Honolulu, there is a calmness of the ocean. But if you go just below the surface, if you go just below the water, they're killing each other underneath that water. It's a fight for survival underneath that water. So right now, what's the real fight about here? What is the real fight about the whole immigration? It's not land. We got plenty of land. Everybody in the world can fit in one state in America. Everybody. What, 6 billion people? They can fit in one state. I think they could probably all fit in Maine. If they stood toe to toe, they could fit in Maine. So what is the real issue here that we're not talking about of immigration? I just don't like the way we're doing this. Okay. I just don't like the fact that we are rounding up people like hogs. That just makes it reminds me of being overseas sometimes, where and it reminds me of the pictures I saw of Nazi Germany where they went around rounding up Jews. That's just not our country. That's not who we are. Now I can understand if you're going down the road, you're driving without insurance and you get stopped for a traffic violation and they find out that you're illegal, I can understand putting your butt on a boat and sending you back home. But if you're just minding your own business, going to work every day, making that money, taking care of the family, and now we just want to show up at your job one day and say, well, you're here illegally. Okay. All right then. I mean, I don't know. And it's such a difficult thing, especially from Mexico, because it was part of this country. It was part of we were it was a together thing. I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Anyway, moving right along to something else. I got another. Now I have a how many of you guys get tired of seeing little African children on the TV at night or on Facebook with diseases that have long been dismissed in America? Crawling on dirt, trying to get to a feeding center. Trying to get to a feeding center because they have no food at home. I mean, how many of us don't quite understand why that's happening? Well, I'm one of those people who don't. I'm one of them people who don't quite understand why those things happen. So yesterday, I'm looking at there's a young man who was so articulate. I guess he's the president of one of them little countries, got 22 million people in it. But he made the case. He made the case that I found interesting. But the things he left out were quite stunning, as a matter of fact. So Africa has always seemed to be under threat of somebody taking it over all the time. The Chinese over there now. The Chinese are in. The Chinese are in Jamaica. Everybody sees an opportunity, and so they are trying to make a dollar. Okay, trying to make a dollar. But however, here's my issue with Africa, and I'm not an African. I'm not an African historian. I don't really have any allegiance to Africa, except that they kind of look like me, and I kind of look like them. So, which means that's where our lineage came from. Does anybody out there know how many countries in Africa? So, Representative Figures recently on House floor indicated he represents a district of medium income, approximately $30,000, which is once you take the taxes out of it, that's about $27,000. So that almost still impoverished. So again, then what is he going to do about it? What jobs is he going to bring to this district? Everybody wants to run for these jobs. What are we going to do? $30,000 is nothing. It's nothing. I mean, by the time you take taxes out of it, pay your rent, pay your gas, you still barely got enough money to exist. And that's $30,000 gross, not net. I can live on $30,000 net. Oh yeah, I can, which means you got to make almost $60,000 to be able to have $30,000 in your pocket. Okay, but what you going to do about it? I mean, everybody knows the problems already. The problem is what you're going to do about it. And then they took away the no taxing of overtime. I think that law has been it's been done away with. Okay, which helped a lot of people. Hey, listen, if you're going to work extra overtime, then hey, let them keep the money. But anybody know how many countries? Oh man, it's 8:34. I got to take a break. We'll be back right after this, and we'll talk about some more things. But while I'm thinking about this, I want you guys to go look real quick, do some research. How many countries are on the continent of Africa? Okay, really. Most of you don't know. When I come back, I'll tell you. And I think that's the biggest problem Africa has, It's not people who want to go over there and get the lithium. It's not people that go over there and want to usurp the precious materials and resources that they have. No. When we come back, in my opinion, based on logic and reason, I think I know what the problem is. We'll be back. Alrighty then, we are back. Had to pause for the calls. Okay, now what we were talking about on my way out the door was Africa. It's always in the news, and then there are those people in America try to convince me that the reason why Africa is in the situation that it is in because, and I just get tired of, and they have things over there going on that make no sense whatsoever to me. Um, and I realize that they have been pillaged by people, but that's not their biggest problem. Their biggest problem over there is the same problem we as Black folks in America, we got the same problem. So how many countries? Anybody know how many countries does Africa have? Anybody know out there? Somebody's got to know. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the world smartest guy on the internet. No, I can't even say that either. I'm the smartest guy in this room right now. Okay. So tell me, anybody know how many countries that Africa has? Okay. I know you don't know, so don't worry about it. Okay. I realize because I'm going to tell you. Okay. I can only tell you that it is 54 countries. 54 countries on the continent of Africa. Let's count them. Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Sudan, Tunisia, Mauritania. In West Africa, it's Benin, Burkina Faso. I think that's the one that guys. Hopefully I'll play that for you tomorrow. Cape Verde. Here's one: the Ivory Coast, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mali, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Togo. How about Central Africa? Angola, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo. Okay, same name, okay. Equatorial Guinea, Gabon. Another one called, I think it's SAO, Sotomi Principe, or something close to it. East Africa, Burundi, Comoros, Djibouti, I think it's Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Madagascar, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, and Rwanda, and a couple more. Seychelles, who's kind of Victoria, Somalia, South Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And a couple more, Botswana, otherwise, and another one called Swaziland, Lesotho, Namibia, and South Africa, which is, of course, the Pretoria is the capital of that place. That's 54 countries. 54 countries. And you want to know what the problem is? There is no way. I'll put you this way. If you have a pie that's that big, okay, hold on. Here we go. Let me make the pie. If you take a pie, okay, with a circle, and you got to feed 4 people, okay, not a big deal, okay, not a big deal. Okay, hold on. See right there? Big pieces of pie. Everybody gets a big piece, right? Because you got 4 people, you got a great big old pie. But let's say now we're going to feed 16 people, okay? We're going to feed 16 people. 16 people we're going to feed. So let me see what goes on here. Okay. Now we're going to feed almost 16 people. Guess how many ways the pie has to be divided now. Okay. How many ways the pie's got to be divided now? See that right there? 16 people. You see, at first we had 4 people to feed. Well, everybody's going to get a big piece. Well, the problem with Africa right now is everybody wants, and some of them do have slavery. Yeah. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. And they're not convinced. They are not satisfied with a small piece. They want a big piece. So what do? We turn at the continent of Africa into a continent of 54 countries. In places where the resources are plenty, but the workers are few. Okay, kind of like over here. So even though this guy, and as soon as I can find him, I'm going to try to play him tomorrow. The guy made a great speech in front of the UN, but he worked all around talking about how people coming over there, taking their resources, blah, blah, blah. The only way people can come to Africa and take your resources that you sell them to them. Okay, you sell them. You sell, and it's kind of like what happened to the black folks who were slaves back in the day. A couple of white guys did not come to Africa and take all the black people. Some Africans helped put the black folks on the boat. Okay. So I'm just saying, before we start blaming everybody else, we need to look in our own house. Okay. That's what I'm telling you. We need to look in our own house and figure out why things are so bad over there. Because we got too many kingdoms over there is what we have. 54 countries on the continent of Africa. And Africa is not that big. I mean, it's a pretty big continent. But it's not that big where everybody can afford to have their own country. Like the one guy, let's say, he's got a country, and I think it's called. I just called it a couple minutes ago, and he's got 22 million people. With 22 million people, that can make up a couple of states in the United States, But you're talking about it's a country for him. Okay, I think it's called Burkina Faso. I believe that's where he is the president of, and everybody likes wearing these military suits when they become president in those countries over there because it makes you seem important. I guess I'm glad our president does not walk around in military uniform. Okay, he's not in the military. The military works for him, but the only way you're going to get a medal on your uniform you join the Salvation Army or something. You don't get to wear you can wear a lapel. You can wear what do you call that thing you put on your things you put on your shirt, whatever that thing is they call. These politicians wear it all the time. But but they want to look like they're important rather than doing something important. And Africa is notorious for everybody wearing a everybody wearing a everybody wearing a uniform with medals on it. Okay, like they really did something. Okay, then. But anyway, so much for that. So I thought I'm gonna find what this guy. Now the guy made an impassioned. He made a great speech, outstanding speech. And if I don't even think I got time to let me see if I can find it now. Because now I can't even find it now. I should have did it. But tomorrow I'm going to find it. And I'm going to let you guys listen to what he says, okay? Each country on the continent have their own interests. That's right. Germany and France have different interests. Don't lump African countries together. They are distinct. They certainly are distinct. They're distinctively poor, considering the resources that they have. And a few people come over and grab them all. There's nothing special about Africa when it comes to human beings. You cannot put 54 countries on one continent and think anybody's going to have any peace. Everybody wants, and they got too many languages. How many languages? Now think about this for a second. If Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, and Millbrook all spoke different languages, would we ever get along? No. And that's the problem in Africa. They got too many languages. Okay? There's no common language that everybody speaks. Now, one thing I'll say about them, a lot of them speak multiple languages. Well, and that's not a good thing. Okay? They have made their own impediments, okay, and taken pride in them. Okay, their own impediments, though. They're taking their own impediments, and that's a crazy thing. That's why we still see pictures on TV at night now with poor African children. One thing they haven't forgot how to do is make babies, though. With poor African children walking in the dirt, trying to get to a feeding center. Because those people over there got so many kings with nice uniforms on until we've forgotten about the least of these over there. I'm just sorry. You cannot have. They got 1,500. Exactly. They got 1,500 to 3,000 distinct languages. Absolutely. Which therein lies the problem. That's one of the problems. How can you have any cohesive relationship with people that you can't communicate with? You can't. And their countries are the size of most people's counties. Okay, I'm just saying it. You wonder why we can't? It won't ever come to it won't ever come to any good if they don't get there. And listen, Trump made a mistake about think because he didn't realize that some countries over there English is their language. Okay, well that was an honest mistake. It's not America. It's not North America or South America. It is Africa. And what most of us know about Africa is what we have learned from TV. I mean, now my first understanding of Africa was there was a white guy in a diaper swinging on a rope in a tree, telling the elephants what to do. Okay, I said, man, that guy's something else. He could tame lions. Okay, now it's a white guy in a diaper. Okay, running, swinging from tree to tree in Africa, making the elephants, calling the elephants, and they come pick them up, just like an Uber. I'm just saying that was my first understanding of Africa, a bad one. But however, that's the one that most Americans, initially my age and older, that's where we get our, and slave movies, yeah. But other than that, we didn't know much about them. And in the country of Africa, because it's made of many people, they still got slavery over there. Okay, because most people think Africa is a country when really it's a continent, the continent of Africa. And a lot of folks don't know. I mean, you can go to school, a high school right now and say, where's the country of Africa at? Then they go to the map and show you the continent of Africa. There is no country. The problem is Africa, the continent of Africa has 54 countries with no common language. No common language whatsoever. So I mean, that's why they're all always messed up. And I don't quite understand it. Yes, how many Christian we have probably about 3,000 Christian and Protestant denominations. But the one thing we do have a commonality. We do have a commonality. Most of us believe in the one God and Jesus Christ. We have that in common. Okay, and most of them in America, we speak English. We can at least converse with one another. Okay, and remember back in the day when we had different languages and stuff like that, we didn't get along too good either. Okay, we just don't. You have to have a common language in order to satisfy the needs of civility and the citizenry. You have to talk the same language. And until Africa decides till the continent of Africa decides what's going to be their language, they're always going to be begging everybody else. People are going to always go through there because when you got 54 countries over there, one guy can say, "Hey, can I come buy some of that lithium?" "Oh yeah, we sell to you." Okay, and they sell it. So I'm just telling you, Africa's problem is Africa. The continent of Africa problem is continent of Africa problem because most people don't know that Cairo and Saudi Arabia and other people, they're part of Africa. Okay, they don't realize that. They just think they separate. They're part of the continent of Africa. Okay, I'm just saying, love is the common language. I totally agree, but love must be expressed in what we do, not what we say. And I hear you, but what is the definition of love over there? What is the definition of love in Africa? I don't know. You got Islam. You got the Hutus, the Burundi. You got the Mutus and the. What's the definition of love in Africa? Hell, they don't know. They can't know because they got too many. They got too many kingdoms over there. They just got too many.
They can't know.
Whoa, turn that down there. What's up?
Nothing. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
I wanted to ask you, since your guy said he might be able to give us a rebate, all that tariff money he collected, somebody estimated press conference, well, it wasn't a press conference, before he left for Scotland, if all that money he's going to be bringing in, if the citizens, working people, going to get a rebate check. He said it might be a possibility.
Well, I'm all good with that, but he didn't say for sure. But I'm all good for that.
I'm going on the possibility.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I bet nobody's gonna complain.
He told the news reporter that was a good question.
Mm-hmm. But I bet nobody's gonna complain about it.
No, you can sign anything to it like before. I'll spend it just the same.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I won't complain about it, but I'll take $20 right now from the government. Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We sure will.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Can you tell me what some of your basic democratic values are?
I'm not a Democrat.
Yes, you
That's
are.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah, I voted for some people that weren't Democrats, and they were in Montgomery for years, and we voted for them.
Yeah, I know you did.
You didn't have to have a party.
So which party would? Let me put it this way: which party would you closely affiliate yourself with?
I affiliate myself with an independent because I have an independent mind to think for myself. You like to label Democrats as being pro-abortion.
So who'd you vote for president?
Who I voted for?
Yeah.
I voted for Kamala Harris for president. I voted for who have the best interest of what I believe in. Okay. It doesn't have anything to do with abortion. Doesn't have anything to do with gayism. It has to do with what I believe.
And so tell me, what did she believe that you believed in?
She believed in me making a choice to do what I want to do. As the Lord Jesus Christ said, I have a free will to believe what I want to believe. Not direct me to your morals, but what I want to believe in. Everybody has a choice to make up their mind on what they're going to do in life. Laws not going to change, not going to legislate morals. Because you just think just Democrats get abortion? Just Democrats are gay?
No, I'm sure everybody, but Democrats are the only ones that are proud of it.
Well, some things that you all are proud of right now.
Like
pedophilism.
Like who?
Being a pedophile.
Who's a pedophile?
Some of the people that y'all associate with.
Well, again, if somebody's charged with it and there's proof of it, of course we wouldn't be for that kind of junk. But
right now, your people on his case about that.
Yeah, but people just talking.
And you all don't want to turn them up.
Listen.
Whoever they are,
if
Democrat or Republican.
If Trump went to take a movement, somebody would complain about his movement.
But this is his movement that wants to know about the pedophile.
No, and that's what I'm saying. But people, just because people say things, don't make them true.
See, you see how you hypocrite you are.
I'm not. I'm just.
You're a hypocrite. Long as it's something that your people do, it's all right.
No, I didn't say it's all right.
The Democrat has said that.
Well, we're proving.
How long y'all been on Biden's case by not turning up the record of this guy?
Let me ask you something. Does being on an airplane flight make you a pedophile?
We didn't say that. We said turn the page, turn the information over, turn the files over. Let us see it all.
And I wish I thought
wherever it lands.
I thought the judge said the other. Wait a minute. Some judge the other day said they couldn't release it.
They can.
I'm just telling you what the judge
said. He can do anything.
Well, now you can't.
Said he can do anything he wants.
No, you can't do anything you want, and we don't want a president who thinks.
Oh, don't say that. Don't you say that, because you may not have your guy.
Again, I don't want anybody that's president of the United States think they can do anything.
He has done anything he wants to. He has got it where whenever you go to court, he wins. Whatever he say, he wins. He can fire people when he wants. He can send you out the country when he wants. He can do anything he wants to do. He got it like that now.
Okay.
And I hope y'all enjoy it.
Okay. I
hope you ain't. I hope you're not on the boat back to Africa.
Well, I don't care if I'm on the boat back to Africa or not. As long as the check go to the bank here, I'm good.
Do you look good in Africa when you have to pay somebody to watch over you?
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, then. You know, I still love you. Somebody said, depending on your view, Saudi considered the Middle East and not Africa. Wait a minute, isn't the Middle East in Africa? Well, let me go see. I could have sworn. Let's see, we got South Africa, Botswana. You may be right there, because I don't see. I don't see Saudi Arabia on there. I thought they were part of Africa. See, even though I'm brilliant, I don't know everything. I had to look that up tonight. Anyway, okay. Love's a common language. So where is Saudi Arabia at? Well, now, because if Saudi Arabia was in Africa, it would be better off. Anyway, listen. Okay, I gotta go. Now I made an error today saying that Saudi Arabia is part of Africa. It isn't. I'm going to find out where it's at. That's one of the few places in the world I've never been, so I wouldn't know where it's at. And I never really wanted to go. I'm not crazy about Muslim countries, not even a little bit. We'll be back, but I love them still. Don't get me wrong, I love them still, but I just can't. Be. I don't want to live. Never had any desire to live over there whatsoever. None whatsoever. That's time to go. But that's it. No, I can't stay on to 10 o'clock. I got things to do. But hey, I love you guys anyway. We'll be back tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. So have a great, great day. Okay? I got to go ahead and still look for a job. It's tough out there. We'll be back.